What's going on guys, Glassman here, back with another episode of Weekly Gaming News. Highlights this week include the announcement of a shed ton of Riot Games to the blackout of the ever popular Fortnite. So without further ado, let's get right into it. The Brazil Game Show, which is one of the world's largest video game conventions, is launching an investigation into an incident where a cosplayer has reportedly been attacked. The event organisers have released a statement confirming that they have suspended the third-party security firm that was allegedly responsible for the attack on the cosplayer Michael. I'm just going to put his middle last name on the screen because I can't pronounce that. Michael, who was dressed as the Joker, claims to have been tortured by the security at the show. Reports on Reddit state that the cosplayer got into the scuffle as a result of trying to re-enter the venue. There have been some pretty horrific images circulating on social media documenting the alleged abuse. The cosplayer is now working with a lawyer in the matter to get it sorted though. For most of its life, Riot Games has been known for one thing, and that one thing is League of Legends. Released on the 27th of October 2009, League of Legends was Riot Games' most successful and only game to have come from them. That is until now. Riot has announced new games, and not just a few. They have announced loads of new games at their 10th anniversary celebration. So to start with, we have Project L. This will probably be Riot's answer to the Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat type games, as it has been announced as a fighting game. Next up, we have Project A, and they have described this one as being a tactical first-person shooter in a brand new setting not related to League of Legends at all. Third, and most interesting sounding to me, is a management simulation game. So a kind of football manager type thing, but instead of managing a football team, you're managing a fictional League of Legends team. It's called Esports Manager, and for that one we have a release window for 2020. Fourth on the list is a card game called Runeterra, because why not, they've covered most ground so far. This game is actually in the beta stage and some players have already got access to it. And lastly, we have the mysterious Project F. Project F is a project that supposedly will explore the possibilities of traversing the world of Runeterra with your friends, and from the short clip it looks like we're in for a multiplayer action RPG kind of deal. After all the trouble Blizzard found themselves in last week, it seems they're in hot water again, but this time with United States senators. After the events of the Blitzchung ban, Ron Wyden and Marcio Rubio both signed a bipartisan letter addressed to the CEO of Activision Blizzard, Bobby Kotick. The letter goes, "We write to express our deep concern about Activision Blizzard's decision to make player Ing-Wai Chung forfeit prize money and ban him from participating in tournaments for a year after he voiced support for pro-democracy protests in Hong Kong. This decision is particularly concerning in light of the Chinese government's growing appetite for pressuring American businesses to help stifle free speech." Following a tweet from Senator Wyden linking to coverage of what happened, the letter references tensions that have risen following Chung's suspension. Another part of the letter I liked was this: "Your company claims to stand by one's right to express individual thoughts and opinions, yet many of your own employees believe that Activision Blizzard's decision to punish Mr. Chung runs counter to those values. Because your company is such a pillar of the gaming industry, your disappointing decision could have a chilling effect on gamers who seek to use their platform to promote human rights and basic freedoms. Indeed, many gamers around the world have taken notice of your company's actions, understandably calling for boycotts of Activision Blizzard gaming sites." With plans for protests at the company's upcoming BlizzCon, it seems that J. Allen Brack's statement last week fell on deaf ears. And with Blizzard cancelling the event in New York to celebrate the launch of Overwatch on the Switch, it looks like BlizzCon could be very interesting this year, if it runs ahead at all. The most controversial event that Epic Games has ever done for Fortnite occurred over the weekend. With their transition from Season 10 to 11, or Chapter 2, Epic pretty much shut the game down. Players who jumped into the event mode, the end, would find that the world of Fortnite was doomed to be pulled into a fiery void. Starting with items being sucked in, then eventually the world itself, the game eventually just ended up running a black screen of nothing but a wormhole in its centre, with the only option an exit button. And for those who thought turning it on and off again would work, no. Upon re-logging, the same screen and no play would be there. But no, you sillies, Epic wasn't really dropping Fortnite, as you all know now. After nearly 2 days of wormholes and black screens, players were welcomed back by being dropped straight into a solos game with a mysterious new map with unknown locations. And this time, Epic has seemingly chosen to let the players figure out all the new features, as the patch notes were pretty vague. There are obvious changes, from their UI to the item reshuffling, and the strange choice to be able to fish and swim. Epic probably didn't perceive what would happen during the blackout though. Before the game relaunched into the new world of Chapter 2, fans were very confused about what was going down, with many younger players having duck fits about the blackout. I'd probably be pissed as a 7-year-old too. Just been to school all week, finally time for my weekend session of Fortnite, and then boom, black screen. It went as far that Sony and Nintendo both made public posts ensuring players that their money spent on in-game items and V-Bucks were safe. IGN contacted Epic Games support to see how common an occurrence questions about Fortnite being down for good was, and they responded with, "Due to the Fortnite blackout, all gamers game modes are currently unavailable for play. Please be assured that your inventory items and V-Bucks are secure. And an anonymous source familiar with customer service requests for Fortnite told them,
"There have been a lot of calls from concerned parents, even with Epic announcing nothing was lost."
I bet there was a lot of screaming children in the backgrounds of those calls. Well, there are all the gaming news picks I have for you this week. To all the new subs, welcome to the channel, hope you're enjoying it here. But yeah, anyway, that's about it for this video, I won't drag it out anymore. So, until the next one, stay glassy, love you, bye.